very best friend. Take care of it, treasure it. There. Okay, let's have some more fun. Let's see, let's take some black, some Prussian blue, and a little phthalo blue. It doesn't matter, we just throw it on there. Crimson too, what the heck. Be brave. Be brave. I'll put a little sap green in there too. It's getting close enough we should begin seeing some color. A little bit of white. Don't want it totally dark yet. There, perfect. Okay, let me wipe the old knife off. And let's get us fan brush. We'll use a fan brush. Load it full of color, both sides. Both sides. Okay, let's go up in here. Now maybe in our world there lives, it does now, some little trees back in here. Now these are a little closer. You're seeing a little more detail, a little more distinct. There. And we just drop them in. We don't know where they go. Wherever you want them. That's exactly where they should live. Don't put too much detail in here. It's too far away. You're not going to see a lot of detail. You see detail.
Match found.
When things are far away, you make out form, shape, basic color. That's all. Save your detail to the foreground. The lack of detail helps also create that illusion of distance and depth in your painting. It's very, very important. Very important. Okay, I'm going to tap a little of that. That'll help create that illusion of mist down there too. There, lift slightly upward, lightly, just a little bit. You know, when I was a traditional painter, one of the hardest things to make effectively was reflections. Watch how easy. I'll take some of the same color.
I'm an old dog.
Real, take a 2-inch brush touch and pull down. Just pull straight down. It's most important that it goes straight down. Something like so. Straight down. Like those little noises. And very lightly go across. There. And instantly we have some nice reflections. That's simple. Now here's something that's fun. You take a little, I just use a little white. If you want to create another plane in your painting, take a little white and lift upward. And it'll make little areas back here that looks like a whole different plane, and the white will end up looking like little trunks in those trees. There, that easy. Let's put a little water line. For that we'll use a liquid white. Pull it out very flat, flat as you can get it. Cut across, okay? And we can go right up in here. And we can just drop in just a little water line. Just a happy little water line that lives back in here somewhere. We don't know where it is.
Match found.
Just let your imagination take you anywhere you want to go. A lot of times I start a painting and have nothing in mind but the time of day and the time of year. And from that, you can paint some fantastic little scenes. Don't worry about it. You don't always have to have a perfect vision in your mind of what it is you're going to paint. Imagination is, it's like any other muscle in your body, or like a muscle in your body. The more you practice, the better it becomes. Take some black Prussian blue. I'm going to put some phthalo green in there. I like phthalo green. Maybe a little crimson. There we go. All right, let me wipe off the knife. I just wiped the knife on a little old paper towel. I would just use that brush, a little fan brush. Load some color into it.
They think I'm an
both
old
sides
dog.
of the brush. Both sides.
I'll show them just how many tricks I
Let's
know.
Let's have a little evergreen tree. He lives right there. See? Just make a line, take the corner of the brush, make a touch. Make another one, and just sort of work from the center out. There it goes. It's easier to do them fast than it is slow, though. Here they come. Just sort of back and forth. I had a lady in class one time told me it was like making Z's, the letter Z. She called them Z trees. So I guess that's as good of an analogy as any. From the center out. The center of the tree should be the thickest, darkest, strongest part of the tree. Because you have leaves on the back, you have a trunk in the middle, and you have leaves on this side. We'll have one more. There we go. I have a little family of trees. You know, if you've painted with me before, I think everybody should have a friend. Even a tree. Even a tree needs a friend. Now, if you want to reflect those, just pause. pop in some general indications of where they are. No big deal. See? Because we don't make mistakes here. We have happy accidents.
Of all people.
Very
You
quickly,
not
you learn
asked
to work
to
with
see my
anything that
face.
happens.
There are
Big
more
brush,
valuable
pull down,
secrets than the look of someone.
Straight down once again.
Will you share
And then
those?
go across. And we have instant reflections. I just use that same fan brush. It has that color. We made the tree out of it. I go through cad yellow and a little yellow ochre. Immediately we have green. There we are. Let's go up in here. Then we can take that green. Let's go back and put some highlights on the little evergreen trees. There we go. All right. Tree here. He's saying, don't leave me out.
Gun here.
Right, now, I'm going to look this way. I'm on the same brush because I want to lighten the color and make it a little thinner. A thin paint.
Smoke's down.
Thick.
We'll catch them.
Back up again.
Give me A. Neon stop.
Have some little bushes that live down here.
Healing over here.
Trained you.
Mark one.
White. Mix them together. Cut off a little roll of paint.
The spike.
Hey.
Some soil. Some dirt of some kind. Gotta have a place. This is all this is set up.
Reloading. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. You know, if you paint a big before, I like old big trees. Let's take a little bit of that color right there. Let's go right.
No more doubts. We're
This is a
ready.
bravery test. Take the corner of the old 2-inch brush, and let's just begin laying in a basic shape here. Tree it is right there. Right there. Big old tree. But he's a nice tree. There he is. Right, while I got that brush going, tell you what, maybe let's do something
Yalla,
about like this.
Gina.
We'll just tap in all kinds of little bushes.
Spike down. C.
See how far it goes.
Player standing.
Make all the decisions. See, we're just putting some dark in here, so later on, our light color will show.
For a straight shooter, that chamber sure can talk in circles.
There's a fan brush right there. Take a little white. A little bit of the dark sienna. Just want to make the indication here, maybe a little tree trunk, maybe a little more dark sienna. That's nice. Okay. Just want some indications. I'm going to put some happy little leaves on there, so we're going to cover most of those up. Most of them won't show. We'll go right into that. Get a little sap green, a little bit of the yellow. We'll just put right on this 2-inch brush.
Hawk ass.
Spike down A.
Got the spike.
Just the corner of the brush. Almost to it. Just the corner. Think about shape. Drop these little
Spike
rascals
down.
in.
Attacker spawn.
You really are the creator.
Someone's in attacker spawn.
Last player standing.
Power ahead. I can take it to the street all by myself. But here, absolutely anything.
Whatever happens,
Inside the window bush
Sahin,
right there.
don't panic. Trembling is bad for your aim.
Maybe what?
Reloading.
Let's get crazy. You know me. If you've painted with me before, I like big trees, and we have one living in our world. Right there. There he comes. We should have done this with a 2-inch brush. It'd have been a lot faster.
Don't get cozy.
There we go. Just drop it in. Where the it should be.
Stim beacon here.
This is a monster tree.
Planet.
Igedela. My ult.
Molly.
Medic.
Smoke's down.
Caution here. Caution here.
Background color. You could put this in with a paint roller.
One enemy remaining.
With some nice highlights. Here's a little brown and white.
I am Prometheus. And you just
Look at all glossy leaves on
See?
this side.
You're stubborn.
Go back to our little fan brush. Go right through the cadmium, yellow
Can I
ochre.
get a drop?
Load some color into it. Let's go back up again. Let's put evergreens are normally darker than other trees, so don't kill all the dark area in your evergreen
Can I get a drop?
sometimes.
Their fears betrayed them.
The base of the tree should be darker than the top. Big shadow areas underneath. And those shadow areas are where all my little friends live. In previous shows we've had
Launching smoke. Dim beacon here. Well, it's not ready.
Spike down B.
Right here.
Individual bushes, one at a time. You know you did, didn't
My planet. Wild's ready.
Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
you? Look here. So you can give all these things names, personalities. Shoot, it's okay.
the hunt begins.
I'm gonna take the little oval brush, dip it in some paint thinner. I'll go through some midnight black, brown on one's on a load of full color. Okay. I'm gonna take
Healing over
the other
here.
side. I'm gonna do earlier. I'm just gonna go through a little black.
Last player standing.
Come up here and make the indications. Plus some rocks that live up there.
We move
There's
as a
one.
unit, okay? Last thing I need is some hero messing things up.
Just some indications. Then come back with a brush we were making the bushes with,
Thanks.
and we'll settle those right down
Help a girl out, would ya?
there. See? And that'll become part of the painting. There we go.
Time to mobilize my pack.
And we know all the bushes and trees and happy little things that live here in our world. All right. Okay. If we had such a places that I'd have to go fish it there. I'm not very good fishing.
Hawk out. Blinded.
Put a bunch of little CPR.
Hawk out.
Down you go.
But we'll take that way to get up here to go catch that fish. We'll take a little of the Van Dyke Brown. And let's have us a little path. We had to walk all through these bushes. Mosquitoes would get us, so let's have us a little path that we can walk back in here and catch that big old trout or bass, whatever it is that lives in here. Take a little bit of, let's find some white, little dark sienna, mix it together, make a little highlight color, just barely.
Last player standing.
Smoke's down.
So, okay,
30 seconds left.
there. And let's put something on this side. Something on the other side of the path. Now let's go on this side. Once again, I'm gonna take a 1-inch brush. Notice that it's straight down and I'm
Make
pulling
sure
it
to
in
follow
one
my
direction.
pack in.
It's
They'll lead us
most
right to the
important.
enemy.
That loads a lot of paint. See, it rounds one edge. You want to turn it, make that rounded edge to the top. Most important. Then we take that, and we go right up in here. No pressure hardly. Just enough to get the brush to touch the canvas. And we begin working on shape and form. and we create a bush or a tree that lives right there. That's all there is to it. And there's another one, but do one at a time. I know. Sometimes it starts working to get greedy. Do one at a time. One at a time.
Launching smoke.
My
Molly.
is ready. Where is everyone hiding? Reloading.
Reload.
Planet.
Enemy A. Got one.
One enemy remaining.
You knew this. I know you can. I get photos every day from people all over the
I
country.
find them. I kill them. Simple as that.
Never believe they could paint, and they're doing it.
Reloading.
Their friends and neighbors don't believe it when they look at their paintings, but they are doing it. There, I'm gonna put a little stick, Liz, right there. A little old tree. Maybe this little tree died and he's naked now, just a skeleton hanging out here. And that happens in nature.
I need to blow something up.
So we can put little arms on him that are still hanging out. All right. All kinds of little diggers.
Where are you?
Dim beacon down.
Drop them in here and there, wherever.
You want to play? Let's play.
Almost inconsistency. Turn the bristles, bring it to a very sharp point. Stay good against that bar.
Spike down.
Star removed.
Because they exist in nature.
Last player standing.
Sometimes the little tree lives. The fish. That's all there's to it. The way of
They're
making
usually
little sticks
distracted
into a
once I
cake
reveal
and
them.
just
Make
clean-
sure it's a good
clean
hunting. Reloading.
You sit in here and just scrape right through the paint. See, and that'll make all kinds of little sticks.
Can I get a drop?
And just come down here, we'll make a few more in here, wherever. You decide where they live. Sometimes these old evergreens here have old dead limbs hanging off of them.
There.
And you can do that just with a little
There.
flick of the knife. And shoot, with that, I think we about have a finished painting. It's that easy. Let's take a little bit of the paint thinner.
Dim beacon down.
Where are you? Reloading.
Enjoyed it.
Fully smoked.
Spike down. B.
Tag. Camera taken out.
Reloading.
Last player standing.
I have
Spike
spike.
down. C.
That's it.
Who am I kidding? My knees are gonna kill after this.
Can I get a drop?
Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad you could join us today. I thought today we'd just do a little painting that's a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy
Can I get a
it.
drop?
So let's start out and run all the colors across the
There.
screen that you need to paint along with us. While you're doing that, let me show you what I got up here today. Today I have my standard old, I'm
Let's
using an
make 'em
18 by
dance.
24 inch double prime pre-stretched canvas, but you use whatever size you want. And I've taken some contact
Smoke's
paper.
down. Dim beacon here.
Reload.
Let's just have some fun.
Bomb buddy out.
We'll do a small amount. Just a very small amount.
Our carrier's down.
Spike down. A. Last player standing.
It has a lot of earth tones.
Enemy down.
Very earthy. There we go. Stuff it out. Throw a little in like that. Without cleaning the brush, I just add a little touch of yellow ochre.
Pry open
Just a
their
little
mind.
bit of yellow
Find
ochre.
the weakness.
And we'll let those blend together. Ochre is sort of a nice gold color. It's beautiful. I like it. Now then, we're going to use nice earth tones today. Tell you what. Grab a little knife here. Let's mix today some alizarin crimson and sap green in about equal parts.
Time to work.
These two colors mixed together make a beautiful, beautiful brown.
Dim beacon here.
Brown. I like it. And you could use
Smoke down.
wipe off the old knife here.
Where are you?
Open up the sky.
Last player standing.
Going to begin blending down. Look like this on the canvas. It'll get lighter and lighter towards that. There. Somewhere about like Kevin. We'll come back to that.
Last round in the half.
Maybe.
Buy what you need.
Otherwise,
Why not?
we're going to look very
We
stupid.
just do something like that. We can do anything we want in our world. We'll just put a little color down here. We'll see what happens. There. Something about it like that. All right. The most fun part of this whole procedure. You've painted with me before.
Get a drop.
You know that's washing the brush.
Together.
We wash our brush with odorless paint thinner. There's a screen in the bottom of the bucket that I'm scrubbing the brush against.
Dim beacon down.
We'll start to light it.
Launching smoke.
I'm going to blend this until the color stops and the next color starts. Line in the sky in this painting.
Cage triggered.
Now then,
My camera is
let's
destroyed.
use that same brown color out of the crimson and sap. Once again, in about equal parts. Light and brown.
One enemy remaining.
Now then, cut across, get a little roll.
Switching sides.
This one here. And maybe
Stay in range of my dim beacon. We'll mow them down.
just an indication of a little mountain that lives way back in the distance here, far away. Little quiet guy. There. All we're looking for is the top shape up here. We could care less what's happening below. We just want the top. The rest of it
Caution
just
here.
happen. There. Now then, take the old brush
There.
right up in there and bend it firmly. Pull it. You
Who
can
do they
move this
think they are?
The canvas has liquid white on it. It's wet, slick,
Take hold.
literally green.
Precision kill.
We don't even know how far away it's living. It's about the distance.
Reloading.
All right. As you know, in a landscape, as things get closer to you, they should get darker in value. So we'll use that same color and the brown to it. Maybe we'll have another range here. Little distance.
Spike planted.
Cut off. Get our little roll of
Smoke
paint.
down.
Little roll of paint is very important. It makes applying it up there much easier. Another big decision.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, maybe it was right there. These are decisions that you have to make.
Reloading.
You have limited power.
Reloading.
Stop it.
The course of mighty rivers you can build.
I can't see
Anything that you
them
want
yet.
to do in this world.
I can feel them getting
Absolutely.
ready.
And I'll wipe the knife on just a paper towel. There, now once again, I'm going to grab this and pull. Think about angles here, because today I'm only going to use brush strokes to create all the highlights and shadows in these little mountains. Before this series is over, we'll do some mountains where we go into paint. Make a lot of detail. Far away, you don't see a lot of detail. In fact, if you put too much detail, you lose that illusion of distance. Just the brush stroke create it's sufficient. It looks like mountains back here, and that's all we need. Easy, can do easy. All right, I like that brown. I'm gonna keep using it here. We'll take
One enemy remaining.
a little bit darker.
Spike down B. Greens, asshole.
Each layer, that's a should get closer to you. Should get
Okay,
darker
I only
in
have like
value.
78 grenades left.
darker.
Hopefully this is already.
A number 6 fan brush, but you could use number 3. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You make the decision. Load both sides of the bristles with a lot of paint. A lot of paint. Let's prepare. Now, let's have some little distant trees. Show you how easy they are. Painted with me before, you've probably done this. You know it works wonderfully. Wonderfully. We get letters every day from fantastic people all over the country. You never believe it. Beautiful masterpiece.
Spike down A.
Get hundreds and hundreds of photographs from people.
Taken down.
It's wonderful. My young friends all over the country are doing this, and they're painting. I have young friends that are 12, 13, 14 years old that are actually selling paintings and making a happy buck. Isn't that fantastic? What better thing to give young people confidence? Do something like this, and people come along and they're willing to pay them for their efforts. It's not the money. The money means nothing. But what it does to a young person or even an old person like
Spike planted.
Out of here.
hard
My
to
own brain.
One enemy remaining.
it's all in your mind and put on a piece of canvas with crease this down here at the bottom. 2-inch brush, and I'm using only the top corner. Tap it.
Not the fool you hope for.
Just really get in there and take out all your frustrations and hostilities
They have courage,
gently.
but no one's immune to
Now hostility.
Can I get a drop?
Now, gently. Lift up. Takes out the tap marks and creates the illusion of mist floating right down at the base. I'm gonna wash my little fan brush off. I want to play a little more. I'm gonna go into straight brown. That brown we made with the crimson and the
Safety's
saffron.
off.
Just straight. I want this to be the darkest layer of background trees. There we go. Now, under here, let's have another layer. And in your world, you make as many layers as you want. Each one of these little layers will help increase the illusion of distance in your painting. And to me, that's very desirable. I like paintings that have great depth.
No more dreams.
That's what some of the old masters were so good at.
Spike planted.
Absolutely. See into
Open up the sky!
reflection. Now, when I was a traditional painter, this was hard to do. Watch. All you do is
Last player
grab
standing.
it, pull down, straight down though. And then
One enemy remaining.
just enough to there. Like that.
We know more than we did
Now
before.
we're going to Van Dyke brown. I'll even put a little dark so it's not a very dark brown now. So we have to cut a little. And let's just put the indication back here. Maybe there's a little land mass that lives under the hold the trees up so they don't fall in the water. Something about like it. Lift this over here on it just there to break up that top edge. Now, let's take a a little touch of the liquid white. Put a little brown in it too, just a little bit. Pull it out very flat and cut across. Just let me do it again so you can see it for sure. Cut across. And we'll go up here. Take that. We can literally just cut us in.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
It's up to you. It's up to you. But all these lines need to
Make
go
their
basically
fear your weapon.
straight across.
Or
If they
use a
don't,
gun.
it'll look like
Whichever.
the water's
Feeling
gonna run
generous?
right out of your painting.
My nonsense is ready.
All right. Ready to get brave with me? You know me. If you painted with me before, you know I have a love of big trees. So I'm gonna take some Van Dyke Brown, dark sienna, just pushing the brush like so. Big tree time. All right.
Enemy spotted A.
Just use the corner of the 2-inch brush.
Nightmare.
It's a basic shape. Giant tree of this right here. It overlooks this beautiful little scene. I like it. I don't want to mountain. I want to be able to see it. Here's the branches. So we'll sort of work to hang on to that. There we are.
Launching smoke.
Last player standing. Spike
When
planted.
you're doing your tree, you decide. Shape it could be smaller than this one, or it could be bigger. If your work you can be stronger than this one.
Dreams are a funny thing.
To you. Absolutely and completely. Painting offers you freedom. Okay, now I'm going to reload the brush, but this time I'm going to load it a little different. I'm going to pull it and go straight down and pull it in one direction, right through the same colors. Van Dyke. I'm going to reach over here and get a little black too, darken it. I want this to be dark, dark. See, black, dark sienna, Van Dyke Brown. I'm just mixing them on the brush.
Dim beacon here.
Notice the brush is straight down and I'm pulling it in one direction. Create a curve. I'm going to turn the brush over.
Molly.
Curve,
Take
right
hold. Where are you?
Last player
part of the
standing.
brush to the top. Push. And we'll start making all kinds of little bushes that live back here in our world. Just push. Try not to let the brush slide. This is just a push and a blend.
Spike
Straight out.
planted.
Maybe, yep. Right along in here. I don't know. You decide in your work where you want all these things to be. Where? Big decisions. You decide.
Match point.
Will they
I
try
mean,
the
that's
same
probably
old
one of
tricks?
the most fun parts of painting. There. Now. Great. Oh, there's a fan brush. It's already dirty. Put brown on it. Grab a knife. We'll have a little bit of fun here. Mixed a little bit of the liquid white with some titanium white. I want to thin it down a little bit. Grab a little
You
touch
want to
dark
play?
sienna,
Let's play.
light brown. A little bit thinner.
Enemy spotted A.
That's a so put a little liquid white with it.
Hi!
Man, I'm gonna get to the small this, the light color that we made.
Last player standing.
So now I have light on this side, dark on that. Light, not dark. Okay? Now you have to make a decision. Which side
Spike
is the
planted.
light coming from? I think we'll have it come from the left. Touch and pull down. And in one stroke, you can make the highlight and the shadow of a nice tree. That easy.
Monster on the
Easy. A little tree trunk. I'm going to use the old dirty brush here. It has the brown on it. I'm going to go into some of my yellow ochre. Let's get crazy.
Attackers win.
Notice how
She's
we're
still
loading
gunning for you.
on both sides, and then give it a little push. That little push. See that little ridge right there? There's one just like it on the brush, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's go up in here. Now we go slightly above the dark because we want the shadows underneath, and using just the corner of the brush. That doesn't show well enough. I'm going to add a little touch of liquid white. I want that brighter so you can see it. I'll reload the brush same way. That's a little better, a little better. Just want you to be able to see it. Normally when we're painting for television, we paint a little brighter than we would at home, so it shows up better. There. But now begin thinking about shape and form, and put in all kinds of little leaves and stuff that live here on your tree. These are the highlights. This is the fun part. Icing on the cake, whatever you want to call it. There we go. There. But you need a dark background to make these show up. Light against light creates nothing. Dark against dark creates nothing. They just blend together. So you need contrast. Light against dark, dark against light. Play with it. You'll enjoy it. It's what makes a painting interesting. There we are. Ooh, little red there. Looks like Jack Frost hit here a little. I like that. Darker, darker, darker down here toward the base, because at the base of the tree there will be a nice shadow area. That's where all my little friends, little Peapod the pocket squirrel and my little bunny rabbits and all those live in there. There. Okay. Let me find a little 1-inch brush. There. And we'll go through a little cad yellow. We'll just use all the yellows. Be right back. I'm gonna get a little alizarin crimson. If we're going to have the colors that sort of remind us of fall. Once again, pulling that brush in one direction. It's a beautiful close-up here. You can see it. Now, turn it over. See that curve? That's what we want toward the top. Let's go up here. Now, right above, we can go right in here, and we can begin putting some gorgeous little highlights on these individual bushes. Work on one bush at a time. One bush at a time. Don't get greedy. I know, it gets good, and you get greedy. Maybe, even though we're talking about autumn, maybe a little sap green, because all bushes don't turn at the same time. Maybe this one back here, maybe there's a little green left in there. Maybe when Jack Frost was coloring all these, he maybe missed this one. Something like that. There. Just let your imagination take you to any world that you want to be in. Any world. That's what's so great about imagination. To me, it's the greatest thing that an artist owns, is his imagination. Because without imagination, it's hard to envision things and to paint them. Let your imagination go. It's like any other part of your body. The more you use it, the better it becomes. It's just like exercising a muscle in your arm. Your imagination gets better too. There. Now if you have trouble making your paint stick, add the least little touch of paint thinner or liquid white. Now liquid white will make your color a little brighter and it'll change it a little. Sometimes that's very desirable. Sometimes you want to keep the color pretty close to being what you loaded on the brush, pure. And in those cases, you would use a little paint thinner. But let me re-emphasize the word little. You don't need much. You need very, very little. Okay. Shoot, we're coming along here pretty good. We need a path in there. Just seems like a natural place. Take a little of that Van Dyke brown. Once again, get our little roll of paint. That little roll is very important. Let's go up in here. Now then, just sort of go back and forth, gently touching the canvas. There. And if you mess up a little bush like I did there, we'll just go back and we'll drop it right back in. In our world, we can change anything whenever we want. Whenever we want. Now we'll take a little brown, a little white, mix it together. And we'll make just a little highlight color to put on there. Maybe I'll even put a little touch of the crimson in there, just to warm it up. There. Once again, cut it off, and that little roll of paint. I'm going to keep saying that over and over because it's so important. I was talking about my little squirrel Peapod that lives up here.
Nintendo.
Believe it or not, he's still with me.
Camelot.
I let him go, more than a year ago. And he still lives in my backyard. He comes every single day and scratches on the back door just like a little puppy. Scratching the door if he sees me in the kitchen until I pay attention to him. I'll open the door, he'll come in the house. He knows where I store all the goodies, the nuts and everything. And he'll go pick him out and let him know he goes. Always here. You always see them in the woods. This side. The other little squirrel that I still keep, she has epilepsy. And I've maintained her now for 4 or 5 years. Because the veterinarian told me she would die in 6 months. But I didn't tell her. And she's been with me all these years. And that's Squirrely Girly Brown. You've seen her, I think, if you watch the show. I've shown her many times in the past. She's a neat little squirrel. She still lives with me. And I keep her in the basement in a great big cage. The basement's where I paint, so she's right next to where I practice painting. I tell you what, let's bring the camera up here. I'm gonna take the contact paper off. It's time for the moment of truth here. And let's take a look-see at what we have. See, pull that paper off. There's your painting. That easy. And this is your last chance. Now you have to come back and do any kind of little things that you want to do. And your painting is just about finished. I'm gonna take a little paint thinner, a little bit of brown. Maybe we'll put a little stick out here. Got a little time left. So maybe in our world, maybe there's a little old tree that pooped out right there. Maybe he died. But his little skeleton's still here. And in nature, you see little trees like this all over. There. See? But mix paint thinner with your paint to make it thin, almost to the consistency of ink, and then it'll flow right over the top of it. That's all there is to it. And you decide where they live. Okay? I think with that, we're gonna call this one done. I'm gonna take a little bit of the bright red, a little paint thinner, and we'll sign this little rascal. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll sign it right here. This is a very simple little painting. Don't think you'll have any trouble with it. But if you paint it, if you have time, take a photograph of it and send to us. We would love to see it, and every once in a while we put them together and we like to show them on TV. Until then, I'd like to wish you happy painting, and God bless, my friend. Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad you could join me today. Today I have one of my little friends with me. This is a little baby cedar waxwing. He's just probably 12, 14 days old. Maybe a little older than that, but not very old. And he's just as precious as he could be. I thought I'd bring him on today and share him with you. Hi, Guy. How are you? Can you talk a little bit? Huh? Can you talk a little bit? Huh? Talk a little bit? What? Yeah, I know. Yeah. But he's something else. Tell you what, let's have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with us today. And while they're doing that, I'll set him down. If you'll come right up to the canvas here, I'll show you what we've got going on. Well, he's decided to clean himself here a little bit. All right. Today I have a long skinny canvas, a 12 by 24 inch canvas, and I've taken a little masking tape that I picked up here in the studio, and I've just sort of put some masking tape around the edges. I thought we'd do something a little different where we take let's paint a scene that goes through these two sections, and maybe it'll start out as summer and end up as winter over here, just to break it up. Something different. It'll give you a lot of good practice. So let's have the summer scene on the left. So I'll start with phthalo blue, a little bit of phthalo blue in the 2-inch brush. Okay, let's go right up in here, and we'll drop in just a happy little sky. Just a simple little thing, just making little crisscrosses, little X's. Summer skies are normally a lot brighter than winter skies. Winter we get sort of gloomy and drab. So, and we'll put a little water. We'll have water. There, about like that. All right, and then we'll come back and we'll blend all that out in a minute. But right now, that's good enough. That's good enough. All right, on the other side, if this is gonna be winter, I'm gonna go into Prussian blue. It's much darker. There, it'll make it look colder. Ooh, rough. There. All right, something about like that. You can even add a little touch of the midnight black to it if you want to really gray it down. See there? Now then. And we'll have a little water in that. We'll take the same color, little Prussian blue, a little touch of the black in it. And we'll just put in a little water indication. Just pulling straight across. It's that simple. That simple. Now then. Let me grab another brush here. I have several of them going. Maybe over here in the summer side. Hey, sounds like a new series, Summer Side. Maybe there's a happy little cloud or two over in the sky. We'll just take a little titanium white on a 2-inch brush, and we'll just put an indication. I don't want to get too carried away today. Just a little indication of some happy little clouds that live up here. Little fluffy clouds up here in the summer. Now, over here on the winter, maybe there's just a long stringy cloud, something about like that comes across. And that's about all you have to do. The little stringy clouds are easy. We'll make another one since it's so much fun. But that'll give the indication of a little cloud that lives right there. All right. Most fun part of this is washing the brush. Let's do that. We wash our brushes with odorless paint thinner. And then we just beat the devil out of it. All right, let's do a happy little mountain. Take some black, Prussian blue, I'll get some crimson, maybe a little Van Dyke brown. Doesn't matter, whatever. Pull it out as flat as you can get it. Take the knife, cut across, get a little roll of paint, lives right on the edge of the knife. Let's go up in here. And maybe, there we are. Maybe there's a mountain that lives right here. Wasn't that little bird cute? He's a little cedar waxwing. I borrowed him from the bird lady here in Muncie, Indiana, where we film. And her name is Diana Schaefer. And Diana devotes just about her entire life to taking care of these little creatures. It's fantastic that people care enough to devote their time and their resources to doing these kind of things. My hat's off to her. There we go. If I wasn't careful, I could become just like Diana. I could become so infatuated with these little rascals that I'd spend most of my time just working with them. And there's a lot of people like Diana all over the country. Nearly every town has a bird lady or someone who takes care of injured and orphaned little creatures. And you need to, if you have time, go out and see them. They've got interesting things. They need your support. And they're super people. Just taking the 2-inch brush, pulling it. I want to blend that color out. Because if you can see the entire mountain, it's always more distinct at the top than it is at the bottom. And this will do that to it automatically. Already, see, it's just sort of sitting in the mist. Now, we will take some titanium white, pull it out very, very flat. Once again, take the knife, go in, cut, and we need that little roll of paint Get in the habit of loading the knife like that. Save you a lot of agony. Touch, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure. No pressure at all. No pressure at all. Just let it glide across there. Just let it glide. See, that easy. Maybe this one, you have to make decisions here. Maybe this one comes out here. I don't know. I don't know. It's up to you. You can bring them together if you want to. Totally and completely up to you. And we don't want to stop there. Want this side to have a little highlight on it too, just because it's winter. It would probably have more snow on it. And you can make this with any color. I'm just using white today. Sometimes in summer scenes you like to use various colors of brown and stuff to make different mountain shapes. And that works. Works just the same. Take a little blue, a little white. Pull it out flat. Once again, our little roll of paint. And with that, we can go back up in here. And we put the indication of some little shadows. Pay particular attention to angles. Mountains are just geometric shapes, and it's a game of angles. Notice that most of your shadow angles go in one direction. Most of your highlight angles go in an opposing or opposite direction. And that's basically all there is to it. Phew. No pressure. Absolutely no pressure. Can't say that enough times. I get letters every day from people saying, my mountains just don't work right. What's happening? It's normally one of two things. Most common is people try to do it with a paint that's thin. You absolutely must have a very firm, dry paint. That is, it's essential. Without it, you're just going to become a mud mixer. You need a firm, dry paint. That's the only way you can paint over the top of this over and over and over. See, now you can come back in here. You can change your mind. Sorry to keep jumping around. There. Okay. And you can get crazy and maybe put a whole nother projection here. It's up to you. Just see these things in your mind and drop them in there. No big deal. You have total control here, total power. You can do anything. Just wipe the knife off. And you just put any old shape you want in here, wherever. Whew. I better quit. I'm going to fill the whole canvas up full of mountains. Which is okay. It's a super way to practice this. I'm going to take a 2-inch brush and just tap. Follow the angles though. Follow those angles and then very gently lift upward. Upward over here. Still following those angles. Most important. Gotta follow them. There, or you'll destroy everything you built. All right. Now maybe back here in the distance, let's see, we'll take some titanium white, some little Prussian blue, little crimson. Just sort of mix them together here. It's basically a blue color, but a little bit of the crimson in it, just to, ooh, I like it. Just sort of mix around till you find something that really turns you on, and it's good. Now, I'll just use the little 2-inch brush here, tap in a little color, and maybe there's a little footy hill back here in our world. It lives right here, and we let it go right through, right on through. Something about like that. All we have done here is just tapped on some color. Now very gently, short strokes. I'm going to grab it, lift upward, 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 upward. Very short little strokes. Very short. Very short. See, looks like little trees live far away already. Now then, maybe I'm going to darken that color. Same color, but I'm going to make it darker. Much darker. Come right in here. And here I'm just going to touch. Okay, watch it. I'm sorry I get excited. I've painted thousands and thousands of paintings and this still fascinates me. Look, see? It excites me every time I paint another painting. It's one of the few things that I've ever done in my life that doesn't get old and boring very quickly. Because every painting, every one is a learning experience. And you know, each time you do a painting, that you've learned something and that next time, the painting's going to be even better. There. It's like we have well over 400 instructors in the country, and I hear over and over that we're not satisfied with what we're doing. And I tell them, that's the greatest thing that could ever happen to you. Dissatisfaction, I hope you're plagued with it. Because if you're not satisfied, then that's what drives you to go forth and do another one. And it'll be better. So I hope you too are plagued with dissatisfaction. I'm making up a dark color here. Got a little white in it. Same color we were using, just darker. And you'll find this a little fan brush. Load some color in it, both sides. Let's go up in here. Now, maybe there's some more little trees right in here. There, these are a little closer, so we can make out a little more detail. Like that. There. You decide where they live. Wherever you want them. Wherever. All right. Maybe they come down here. I'm just going to push in and then lift upward to make it look like more little trees. There. Pull that down. All right. See, that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. No problem at all. All right. Now, watch here. I'm going to grab that, pull it down, and that'll make us a nice reflection. There we go across instantly. Nice little reflections. Lift up, smooth it out a little. Shoot. You got a nice little painting going there. Now, maybe underneath here, I'll tell you what, let's put a little dirt under there. Take a little brown, both browns, Van Dyke and Dark Sienna. I'm just going to come right in here, and I'm just going to put the indication of some soil, dirt, rocks, whatever, that live right in there. And on top of that, let's get crazy. Take some sap green, right into the cadmium, yellow ochre, Indian yellow. Just mix them together on the brush so you get a multitude of colors. Let's go up in here. And maybe there's some little grassy areas back in here. Just take the little fan brush, push upward. Just push upward. Use the corner, otherwise you get smiley faces. There. Just use the corner. Now we got a little grassy area there. Take a little white, a little dark sienna. We'll make a little brown color. And we can go back, just make it look like there. Little rocks and stones living right along the edge. Now over on this side, we said this was going to be winter. So over here, I'm going to do that same basic thing, only with white. Yeah, we'll take some liquid white and pull it out very flat. This is just liquid white on the knife, just cutting across. Let's put a little water line back there. And we'll come right in here, put a little water line that follows right through. Goes right through. Just let that scene continue. Right on through. We're actually doing two paintings at one time here. There we go. Maybe there's even a little ripple here and there. Wherever. Up to you. You can have ripples anywhere you want them in your world. All right, let me grab another fan brush. I have several of them going here. Let's clean off a spot. Got the biggest palette in town. It's just not big enough. It's like a goldfish. You'll grow to the size of your environment, I think. Take black, Prussian blue, some phthalo green, some crimson. Put them together. I like phthalo green there. I like that. All right. Now then, go right into the color. A lot of it. Load a lot of color into the fan brush. And let's make a few evergreen trees, some nice ones. A lot of paint. You ready? It's your bravery test. Here it comes. Corner of the brush. Back and forth. Maybe there's one big old tree. It lives right here. And he looks out over this mountain. Gosh, what a view he would have. That's where I want to live. Right there. Look out over the mountain, see all God's creations. All right. I like that. Let's make some trees on the other side. There. Sometimes when you're painting, step back from your painting, take a look-see at it ever so often. When you paint really close to it, it sort of gets distorted. Step back and look at it. Step back and take a look-see. There. See? Just drop them little rascals in. We need one more. There it comes. Just corner the brush, work back and forth. Applying more and more pressure as you work down. Down here, we just pull a little color down. And, you guessed it, that'll end up being some reflections. That easy. That easy. Now we put a little dark color in. There, see? And we have reflections for it. That easy. Painting does not have to be difficult. There's no big secret to it. You can do it. Let's take sap green, yellow, a lot of color on the brush. Okay, let's go up here. And let's put some highlights in these little rascals. Darker, darker, darker toward the base. Always want them to get darker. A little yellow ochre in that one. Ooh, I like that. A little sparkler. That's one of them happy accidents. They happen in your world. You learn how to work with anything that happens. Grab another fan brush. I'm gonna dip this one into a little bit of the liquid white, because this is winter. Gotta remember, a little liquid white, titanium white. Be right back. A little phthalo blue. Pretty color. Okay, let's go up in here. Now, for this winter tree, maybe there's snow, a little snow laying on these arms here. So we'll put a little of that on there. Not a whole lot. That's about enough. Let's take a 1-inch brush. That's a good one. We'll take some of that nice dark color, like so. I hear my little bird over there. He's chirping so nice. He was good. I'll have to feed him extra special. Extra special for doing a good job with us. Yeah. And he likes blueberries, fresh blueberries. Ooh, he loves them. There we go. I just let that come right on through. There. Now, there's another 1-inch brush. It's clean. I'm going to dip the 1-inch brush into liquid white.